Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to go over the newest version of Monster Strike, version 26.2. This was unannounced on news for whatever reason. It's actually kind of meaty in terms of actual changes, but in terms of useful changes, actually, well, why don't we go through it and you can be the judge about that. So without further ado, let's go through version 26.2. This is probably one of the nicer ones out there. Yes, welcome to the tournament. In the temple, when you are changing your party, you didn't have the option to switch or inspect what your berry status was. And this was actually very inconvenient if you did the super jump, right? If you super jump from this button here to the temple area, you would go to your party edit screen, right? So this update will now allow you to actually see the status of your berries in that screen, which will come up right here. So this area is new. So you can now actually see what it looks like right here. You can reset your state if you want. You can also turn it off or on easily from this screen. This is a very big update, and maybe a subtle one that you won't notice until you actually are farming for berries. But this is a very good quality of life update for the berries, especially for those of you who do farm hard for berries. Now, for those of you who are willing to pay money into this game, they did reset the paid packs, the 4 paid packs that you see on this screen here. You can now purchase them one more time if you have already done so. There are 4 packs in all, and let's see, pack Konyu here. You click there, it'll ask you for your age. Click the bottom one to get passed through everything, and you can see there are 4 lovely options for you to pick from. The first one, which is in blue here, you can pay 480 yen to get 3 6-star monsters out of a specified pool of 10. You can see that at the bottom of the screen there. These are the 10 monsters that you can get from this gacha. You will be randomly given 3 out of these 10. And it only costs 480 yen, so if you are willing to spend money, this does seem a pretty nice one, especially if you have a lot of these Jushin Kakai monsters that you do not have. I think they're all Jushin Kakai, right? Yeah. So, not so bad, not so bad. Now, the pack in red, which costs 1,000 yen, will guarantee you a 6-star monster with a chance of that 6-star monster being a limited monster. In addition, you do get 8 orbs out of it too, as well as some other items in the pack. You can check those details in the screen yourself here. Well, actually, since we're right here, right, you also get 5 biscuits and a Ereberuel, along with a EXP ticket, which isn't so bad. So, pretty darn good there. Now, for the pack outlined in green, which costs 1,800 yen, this will guarantee that you get a new monster in your box, as well as 10 orbs. Let's see what else you get. You also get an EXP ticket, 1 Miracle Min, and 10 for biscuits to go with your troubles. Again, this is guaranteed new monster in your box. And last but not least, in yellow is the slightly more expensive one, and you know, a little bit, I don't know, suspect if it's actually worth it or not. But this one allows you to pick an ability from damage wall, gravity barriers, warps, or mines, and then you'll be able to get 5 monsters that has that ability. However, that monster, as long as one of its forms, pre-transcended, Evo, base, ascended, transcended, transcension Kai, if any of those forms have that ability, they are part of that pool for that gacha. You're guaranteed to get 1 of each element for a total of 5 monsters. You also get 7 orbs for your trouble, an EXP ticket, 2 Divine Charles, and a Stamina Min as well. So you do get 5 monsters, but it's kind of tricky to know what the actual pool of these monsters is, because you have to take into account all evolution forms to see where they could pop up on. So again, if you have paid for these before, that has been reset. You can now purchase them again one more time. Now, for those of you who want notifications about events ending or not, you can now go to the options screen, and we can click the question mark here. To go to the screen, click the 4th button, the one right above the yellow button. is your options screen. And then you want to click the rightmost tab here to go to the quest notification settings. And here is where you can choose whether you want to get these events. Now, you can see that they have separated into multiple sections. The first one here will just let you get a notification when a brand new difficulty quest has arrived. So Chozetsu, the Impossibles, Bakuzetsu, Colossals, Gozetsus, Chokyukyoku quests, any of those new quests, that's the first option. Now the second option and beyond are all of the new ones. I think they've just combined them into a new interface here. And these are where you can set your notifications on whether you want a notification. The first one here is when the event starts. Do you want a notification when? The first one here is the Hashanoto, the Tower of Champions. If you want to get a notification when it starts, click the first one. If you want a notification when it's about to go away, click the second one. And once you click the second one, you'll see all of these numbers under it light up. This will give you a warning how many days before this event will end. You will get a notification at noon Japan time, that many days before it goes away. Pretty good to get a reminder for yourself when things are going away. I'm gonna pick 3 days for myself so that we get a heads up on that, but it's up to you to pick, and you can do that individually for each event if you so please. So again, the first one was Tower of Champions. The second one is the Abyss, Kinki no Goku, and you can set that for that. The third one is for the Shinen. You don't have any settings to give a notification when it starts. That's in the previous menu when we were just talking about the Abyss, right? Now, this is also important. If you have cleared the event, you won't get a notification either. So you might ask, why would I want one for the Abyss and the Shinen? Because if you did finish the Abyss, you won't get that notification. But if you want that notification for when the Shinen goes away, you're going to need to do that separately. The fourth one in the list here is for the Mikai no Daichi Uncharted Lands. Very important, because if you skip those, you're going to be one step behind all the time, which is going to be very much a pain. The next one here is the tournament, which actually just started, right? You don't want to miss out that, because that allows you to skip stages from the actual Tower of Champions to make your life easier. And the last one is the castle, Tenma no Kojo. Yes, absolutely. By the way, these will all be off, I believe, off by default unless you've set them on before in the past on previous settings. That is preserved for this. So this one actually is pretty big. Again, if you want to get that little notification, for those of you who can't read Japanese, you'll understand what it means by pattern matching over time. But this is pretty big, I think, in terms of notifications. Ooh. Next up, we've got easy copying of your ID. If you want to share your ID to others, for example, when you are inviting people or you're searching for friends, you can now click this blue button here, and you will get a message here that your clipboard now has your ID copied onto it. And then you can go and paste it into your favorite chat program and give the link to your friends that way. So pretty awesome way to get your ID out into the masses. Next up is the invitation for friends. If you want to take advantage of the Kohai Senpai invitations, you do get orb bonuses, and I think you get gacha rolls now, right? So all of these rewards are available for getting newbies to play the game. It is now going to be a little bit easier to invite friends. You can click the button on the top left, and you can get some URLs for these respective programs much easier. You've got Line, you've got X/Twitter, or you can just get a straight up URL to the game where they can download the game that way. Don't forget, when you do invite people, you're going to have to make sure that they are going to make a JP account. iOS, you actually need to make a physical JP account. In NA or non-Japanese markets for the Google devices, you could just go to QApp or APK Pure, any of those APK sites. Be careful of the safety of those APKs. Never know what people could do with them, but you can download them that way. Or again, you can make a Japanese account directly so that you can get, if you actually want to pay money, you will need to do that regardless. So keep that in mind. So again, a nice little way to get the word out for people to join the game and help you out. And here's some little things maybe people don't really care about, but you can now see details of the enemies in the help screen. Go to the question mark. The red button on the top right is the help screen. You go to the stage menu here, which is the 5th one in line. And then second from the bottom is Teki Monster Ichiran. And you can see all of the monsters that you can encounter in stage that have specific duties. Now, it's not always going to do that, but for the most part, they will have this attack affinity, and you'll see them in action that way. So if you want to know more about these Wapuns or Downzas, Renji Oda, you got all these monsters, and you don't have to know their names, but if you want to click and be like, what was that monster? Oh, this thing, right? And then if you can read Japanese, it'll tell you that it shoots out mines, right? So a nice way to just get some more visual recognition of what kind of monsters exist in the game. And then some miscellaneous updates before we wrap up for today. Looks like they're trying to get rid of the friend points. They have now removed the ability to earn points by using friendly units, and of course when your friend unit is used by other people, those were one way you got friend points. That situation has now been removed from the game as of 26.2, so probably that means we're going to see an end to these friend points sooner or later, I think, because I'm not sure how else you get them now except for on login, so that seems worthless. We'll see what they do with that in the future, but looks like the friend points are coming to an end. And then a few bugs were fixed. There was some bug where, when you have the strike shot energy pod, once it left the screen, there were still some cases where it was still doing damage even though it left the screen. That, I guess, has been fixed. And there was a bug in Nayuta's Shinen Depth stage where in certain conditions the weak point multiplier was not changing properly. That must be a quest that you have the weak point effectiveness up and down. Seems like there was a bug sometimes on that switching incorrectly, so that has been fixed. And last but not least, a reminder to make sure you do the 50% gacha. I did this on my alt in my previous video, or actually, this actually will probably come out first. So in the next video, you'll see my alts pulling on there, but we'll do it on my main. We're not waiting for a Hoshidama, so I won't worry about that. 50% is always nice. And don't forget, this does cost 5 orbs. It is a single pull. 50% chance to get a 5/6 monster or not. And today it's a not. Reminder that this only includes general pool monsters. You will not get any limited monsters from this gacha. And of course, if you are on the fence about those 5 orbs, don't forget, in the event quest, you do have a special mission available because we just got out of maintenance. This is always available. 1 stamina, super easy. You'll get 5 orbs for clearing this quest. Don't forget about it. It's 5 orbs. You must play this by September 29th before it goes away. So that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions with the newest walkthrough of if you have any questions with the newest version of Monster Strike, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we do have the celebration at the end of the week for the 10-year anniversary of Monster Strike. You can come here to see everything in English along with myself. And of course, it's fun to play around with that a little bit. In addition, we do have I am betting on some kind of news flash in the next few days. I am still convinced that we will still get a Legends exclusive monster announced in the next few days. So keep your eyes out for that to see if anything happens. But until then, subscribe, ENGmonst, Discord channel, you know what to do. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye.